Welcome to the Obvious Podcast, episode 46. My name is Sonny, and I'm the CEO at ABC Florida East Coast.
And I'm Peter Daiga, President and CEO at ABC Florida East Coast.
You are listening to the Obvious Podcast, where all opinions expressed are our own, unless we say otherwise.
Love the show? Subscribe on any major podcast platform or watch us in action on YouTube. Follow the Obvious Podcast on Instagram, X, and Truth Social. All the links you need are in the show notes. Reach out to us anytime at theobvious@abceastflorida.com. And if you're enjoying the ride, help others find us by leaving a review wherever you listen. And be sure to subscribe.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Sonny.
Here we are.
Number 46.
Number 46. The countdown to 50 is officially on. We're very excited about that. Thank you for joining us, whether it's YouTube or any of the other platforms that are out there. And today, I'm very excited to introduce you to a very special guest.
Our immediate past chairman of the board of the ABC Institute, Israel Silva. Israel, it's good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us, Israel.
You know, it only took, like I said before, it only took a few
46 episodes.
46 episodes, but a few hints. But no, I'm very, very happy to be here, and I've seen quite a good number of the episodes. Love the messaging, love the pacing, and I love that it's not killing 3 hours of my life.
That's right. We're going to have you out of here in 20 minutes. So we're very happy you're here. As obviously and our audience knows, the Institute is it's the pride and joy of ABC and everything ABC does. We love the impact it has, the lives it changes, the largest apprenticeship program in the state of Florida. I know you've been involved in leadership for a while. And, you just finished your term as chairman of the board. And we'll get into all of that. But I wanted to talk about Israel Silva. Tell us your story. Tell us, where were you born? Where were you raised? How'd you get into construction? What do you do? Let our audience get to know you.
Well, I was born in Venezuela I have a very diverse family. We're from Spain. On my mother's side, Spain, Colombia, it's all a big mix. My dad was from South Carolina, Columbia. Shout out Gamecocks. We came to the States permanently in '95, and it was a cultural shock at first. It was very different, but I was excited to be here. As any kid, I picked up the English very quickly. I'd already been speaking it at home. You just don't speak it every day because in school and everything you're speaking Spanish. So it's not maybe like as great as it could be. But I think within a month or two, I was like correcting my own mother. I was like, hey, Mom, she went to college in Chicago. And here I am, a little, a little kid being like, hey, Mom, you're not supposed to say it like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, very quickly, this country became home. It became, things just kind of made more sense to me here, and I felt at home right away. The people, the culture made more sense. Yeah, I was very.
Were you raised in Miami?
Broward County.
Broward County.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep. I grew up in a big part of my life. I grew up in Davie and Cooper City.
Okay.
So, as an adult, I moved out of the house. I lived in Miami most of my adult life. And when my father passed away and my mother's older now, I bought a place in Davie to be close to home. We're 6 minutes away from Mom. Whatever she needs, we're right there for her. And so it's funny, when you're a kid and you a teenager, you can't wait to get out. You can't wait to get out of little Davie, little Cooper City. I want to go to the city. I want to be in Miami. I want to, and as you get older, you start to miss it. And all I wanted was I want to go back to Davie. I want to hit up the rodeo on Fridays. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And be back to where I'm from, Yeah. So, people ask me where I'm from. And I go, where I'm from or where was I born? It's two different things, right? So where I'm from is definitely Broward County, Davie, Florida.
Davie, Florida.
Where I was born was Venezuela. And I'm happy to have those Latin roots.
Yeah.
But happy to also have been taken in by the American culture as well.
I'm guessing you're not going to be voting for Mamdani if you were a voter in New York City.
No comment.
No comment. So, growing up, did you know what you wanted to do? Were you ambitious as a kid as well? How you hear these stories where people are like, life doesn't move in a straight line trajectory. It's always kind of up and down, up and down.
Definitely.
So
I think I wanted to do it all. I didn't really have like that vision, that clear path of where I wanted to go. I always envied one of my best friends, in the best way possible.
Right, of course.
Because Tony knew what he wanted to do. We weren't even like halfway through high school, and he's like, I'm going to study this. I'm going to do this. He went out, he did it, and he's super successful in his field. And I was always like, man, Tony just kind of had this like laser direction of this is what I want to do. This is where, whereas, I had many, many interests, I ended up in finance for a while. And in that process, I would meet my future employer. And there were a lot of changes happening with the financial organization I was working with. And he knew that I'd worked a little construction on the side to make some extra money when you're younger, digging trenches, telecom type stuff, and he's like, hey, I need somebody to help me with some of my customer service side, why don't you come work for me? I think you'd be really great. I really wanted to change at the time. So I said, you know what, let's do it. So I went to work for him. There were a lot of changes and things that needed to happen in that organization, ideas that I had, and he let me fly with them. And I loved that. And, but then we started hitting a brick wall with some of our clients, and it was safety related. A lot of the clients didn't want to work with us anymore because our safety rating was not good. We were really not doing things the right way. So, long story short, I end up taking a meeting with a consultant that we hired to help us with that. Our safety director at the time didn't show up to the meeting. So the owner of the company was like, I need you in there, take that meeting, learn as much as you can, how we can get out of this hole, At the end of the meeting, I kind of gave him a brief of everything that was going on. And he said, okay, great. You're in safety now. And I was like, well, I don't know anything about this. And he goes, you're going to be fine. So I kind of had to hit the ground running. And next thing you knew, I'm a safety professional. And I'd never really done that. I knew other things. That just wasn't something that I knew. And I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the mission. I fell in love with the work, the kind of people that we work with, and training, development. There's a lot of training and development that goes into creating a safe and productive workforce, and that really called out to me. So,
what a transformative moment for the company too.
Totally,
and a company that has such a pedigree in terms of the whole American dream story, I think, too, right?
Well, yes, this was a smaller company then. That experience there and turning that ship around would leverage my abilities and my experience to jump on to where I am now. I'm now with Mostek, as you guys know, and it was I called that place, and listen, it was chaotic. It was very challenging. The personalities, but it all shaped me to be ready for this role that I'm currently in with
So I misunderstood. So the earlier role was with a different company.
With a different company.
Got you started.
Yeah.
Into the safe. Okay.
Yeah, it was
and then later on,
somebody calls me and he's like, hey, I'm with Mostek now. They're looking for some help on the safety team. Would you be open to? And I said, yeah, I'm open to talking to somebody. And I spoke on the phone with who would then later on become my boss. To this day, he's still one of my mentors. I call him all the time. We no longer work together, but that was another, I would say, very like landmark moment in my career. Meeting him, having somebody say, you're good, but we're going to make you better. We're going to get under my wing, get over here, because you're deadly, but you're not an assassin yet. So thanks to him, my knowledge, my abilities just really developed. I really believe that it touched me because it ties back to what we do at the Institute, right? We take people under our wing. Our instructors take these apprentices under their wing. They have real life experience, and any of these problems and situations that our apprentices come up with, our instructors are like, been there, done that. Here's what we need to do, or here's what you can do next time. So I feel like, to rewind a bit, I had hit kind of like a plateau where I was at after we had turned that ship around. Right. Clients came back, reactivated with us, allowed us to return to work on their lines, right? And now I kind of hit this plateau. I was stuck, So that's when that Mostec opportunity came, and it couldn't have come at a better time. And I was stuck, and he saw that, and he allowed me to. He encouraged me and pushed me to reach that next level, break that ceiling that I had hit, and show me that, no, there's more. There's more upstairs. You just don't know about it. I'm going to show you. Yeah. And that's what we do here at the Institute. Yep. We show these guys, wait, no. There's more. But wait, there's more.
So talk a little bit about, your first exposure to ABC, where that was, and whether it was at Master, and the development of that relationship.
So you and I might have touched on this before. So at Mostec, we've always sent our apprentices to the ABC for as long as I can remember. And when we say, hey, when we talk about the school, it means ABCI. We refer to it colloquially as the school. Hey, is that guy in the school? Yeah, he's enrolled. He's a year 2, or no, not yet. We're gonna sign him up to the school. But so we always sent our people over here. But it was a few years ago that my vice president approached me and said, "Hey, it looks like there's a seat on the board open. We'd like for somebody to represent the line directors on that board. I think you'd be perfect for it. You show these attributes, this passion, etc." And he's somebody who I also think of as a mentor of sorts. I look up to him. I see how he handles various situations and leadership opportunities, and I like to emulate him a lot. I think the world of him as well. And but I looked at him and I said, I don't know about that, Michael. I'm not so sure that's for me, And he goes, it's for you. Trust me on this. You'd be great. And knowing when to listen to people that are smarter than me, I said, you know what? If he says that, it's for a reason. He's somebody that I respect and that I look up to. Yeah. He's got to have a point here. There's got to be something to the madness. So I said, okay, you know what? Let's do it, And quickly I was hooked. I came into to my first board meeting. The board voted me in.
Do you remember what year that was?
It was right after graduation in 2022. And right away I could see that it was a group of like-minded individuals who also shared that passion for getting people educated, for mentoring people, because it had played such a big role for me to be mentored by someone finally in my career, and to have somebody say, hey, we're going to help you elevate. I knew that I wanted to somehow help other people obtain that. I wish somebody had done that for me much earlier, because like I said, I was never that kid who knew what he wanted. I liked so many things. I wanted to try so many things that I needed somebody to go, hey, you'd be really great at this. Why don't we try this? You know what I mean? And I feel like at the Institute, these instructors do that. And they go, hey, you know what? Let's help you get there. You're really good at these terminations. Let's make you like this absolute master in them. You know what I mean? Or let's develop these skills further, or let's make you more well-rounded, because you're very good at these terminations, but you're not, we need some work on cutovers or whatever, so I believe in what we do. I believe in what we do because I didn't have it for so long professionally that when I finally had it, it only showed me how desperately I could have used it earlier on.
So we just recently had a graduation spectacular event for almost every person who works at ABC. It's their favorite, if not one of their favorite things we do, events we have.
We do have a very special episode on that coming out next Friday.
Right. So
be
stay
on the
tuned for
lookout
that. We'll talk entirely about the graduation, but talk a little bit about, I don't know, the event itself and what it means and the impact, I guess, on the community. So
It's my favorite time of the year. It's my favorite time of the year. It's all our work, everything that we do on this board. And I mean, think about what we did in the past year, you know, to the level of taking this up to legislation to get the support that these programs truly deserve, you know, not just partial support, but get all the support that we deserve, right? To the emails, the draft revisions, the meetings and more emails and more revisions, right? And then all of that becomes, I guess it's validated on graduation day because you get to see, what was it, like 120 guys in front of you graduating, and everything that you do is so that these guys can achieve this dream in front of their families, in front of their
I was going to say, how about those families and the parents and the kids that are so proud of them?
pride in their face is unbelievable. You know, one of my guys, it also happened to be his birthday. His whole family was there, and he's like, I just wanted to show my family and my kids that it's never too late to do this. And
the range, the age range is all over the board too.
so
It's
I'm
amazing.
I'm up there. I'm shaking their hands as everybody comes up, and I'm realizing, as I've seen a couple of videos that people have like taken on their phones, etc., that I guess from where the guests are sitting, you can't tell, but so many of these guys are going up there emotional with their heart on their sleeve, and they're just holding it in, you know, and you can see how important this moment is for them, you know, and ultimately that's the American dream, you know. Sure, this kid that came from Venezuela grew up here, this country took him in. No. The American dream is getting the support to learn a trade and build a career while you're still going to work and providing for your family. You have somebody in your corner helping you get to that next level. Yeah. Now, that's what this country's built on, hard work. So let's enable people to do the work, right?
I'm particularly proud of the Institute board and its level of commitment to making this event. I mean, we spend a lot of money on this event. We don't necessarily charge a lot in time, but it's first class, right? It's a full-blown cap and gown, pomp and circumstance, you know.
It's beautiful.
Invites paid for to the graduates, because for a lot of them, they've never had that kind of experience, and they deserve it. The accomplishment that they've achieved is in many ways, if not most ways, the way I see it, a greater achievement.
This thing is like collegiate level, you know, and it is my favorite time of the year. Just seeing their faces and being a part of it, you know. It's such a landmark moment in their lives. It's a moment that they're always going to remember, and I think like they're always going to remember us, and they're going to, you know, their instructors that have touched them. And
we've talked about a number of stories over the years. Yeah. Talk a little bit about what they have achieved. I mean, it's a little bit different depending on what program they went through, but you know, what is a person walking that stage? What have they come through? Well, you've talked a little bit about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, they sacrificed a lot, you know, but the payoff is well worth it. We're talking about most programs are sacrificing evenings, you know, with their families. My guys are on weekends, so they sacrifice a weekend a month, you know, a weekend that they could be out playing ball with their kid or you know, at a birthday or a cookout, right? And
the reason for that is, I mean, they're working full time too, right? Plus,
yeah,
probably
because they're working full time. You know, they're not leaving this program with $100,000 in debt.
All right.
You know, so this is what they do. When they walk out of our programs, they're ready for a higher role within their organizations. You know, we like to promote our guys as they advance year to year, but certainly when they finish, you know, we do an assessment. We make sure that that, they're ready for that next role, and we'll gladly promote them to that next role, that higher position, and help them earn more. You know what I mean? You deserve it. You put in the work. You've been here for 3-4 years. You went to school. You know the stuff. You passed, and why not? And this enables them. I have operations managers now that came to ABC, general foreman that came to ABC. Leaders in our company that at one point, many moons ago, came to ABC, and they swear by the program and what we do, and its consistency, and they can speak to it firsthand. So
we're going to get into a little more detail next week. So we hope you'll tune in, talk a little bit more about the specifics of the program and the Institute and whatnot. But we're kind of running short on time. Can you summarize the biggest changes you've seen at the Institute board and what you see the future? In terms of how we've prepared ourselves, how the board has prepared ourselves, I think, for the future?
I think we're at a really good point. I mean, the cohesiveness of the board and the Institute leadership, I think it's at an all-time high where we're really understanding each other. We're really working very well together, and the vision is very much the same. And I think one of the most exciting things that we've done this year is the new flagship. Right, we have the new flagship in Miami coming up. We're setting ourselves up for longevity with that, long term. We're going to be here for a while. Yep. It's going to allow us to growth immensely. It's going to be beautiful.
Got critical legislation passed.
Yeah, we got critical. So. Oh my God.
You had a productive year as chair.
So, that was unanimous.
Yep.
That's huge.
Yep.
The classrooms, the support for the instructors, the classrooms have been improved. I mean, this year has been a busy year. We've done a lot, and I'm looking forward to what next year brings. I'm really excited.
We are too.
We are too.
So we're very grateful for your leadership.
Yes.
And for you that listening to that smarter person than you, as you put it, who saw something, and so you did it. You went out on faith, and did it, and we're glad you did.
We had to sit down, and I thanked them for that, and I said, you know what, thank you for getting me out of my comfort zone, and thank you for helping me. Again, various people. I've always said it. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. There's people that know more than me that see something in me, and that I've taken them at their word for it and said, okay, you know what? If you see that, let's go for it. Let me learn more about it. Let's do it. And I think that's what we do here. We provide those shoulders for our students to stand on and reach that next height. So if you have a construction company, a trades company, and you have guys that you want to elevate, you want them to reach the next level, I encourage you to look into the ABC Institute Apprenticeship College and start sending your guys over here.
And we're nimble enough, you might call if we're not doing a program right now. With many of people, we figured out what we need to do.
We've done a workshop.
Because that's our mission, right? And we stick true to our mission.
Yes.
Helping this industry face its challenges and try to meet some of its
the need for skilled workers is now more than ever. We need them.
Thanks to you. Thanks to MasTech, because you're one of our largest participating employers, I think, of all our different programs. So we're very grateful.
We're happy.
So.
Thank you for your leadership, Israel, and thank you for joining us. And look how quickly 25 minutes flew by, right?
It was a lot of fun.
We're very happy to have you here. Thank you again. We are very grateful for your time. We look forward to sharing another episode with you next Friday.
And for comments, please send us an email at theobvious@abceastflorida.com. Until next time.